Yolk's a word?
Yolk's a word.
No, I know it is a word.
Yolk's a word, man.
I said that.
And we're live.
All right, ready?
Yeah. In person?
In person. How about that?
But that.
Finally recording. Yeah, so it's good.
I know.
Ready to roll?
Yeah.
It is another edition of the High Hopes Podcast. Fritzy, we are there, buddy. We are like there. Baseball there. But now we can.
Does today count as opening day?
Oh, good point. Good question. No. But it is the start of baseball. The start of baseball has happened. Opening day is still opening day, but I like the baseball's back. We're here. We had a nice little morning where, you know, you came. I got a little annoyed. I'm like, where's Jack? We got to start the pod. And then you came in and we're at like a 10 when I was at like a 6.
Mm-hmm. I don't get the 10s often.
I know. Tucker and I were both taking him back. Yes. Tucker was like, well, now you seem very calm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen.
How you doing? And there it is. Go.
It's just trying to find street parking every day, and it's like I can take a lot. Okay, it's just I think there's always a breaking point in traffic, and there's always a breaking point with parking.
Yep.
So when I get here at 9:40, and I can't walk into the door until 10:10,
yeah,
and everyone's moving as slow as possible, and the worst is you pull up to a spot with the guy. I saw him get in the car. I'm like, oh, sweet, he's leaving.
Yeah.
And he's I was like, you don't know what I'm about to do.
Oh my God, I hate that.
So like I can handle it for 15 minutes is fine. It's just when you get to the 25 to 30, that's when I reach the breaking point, and that's the same way in traffic. Like, traffic happens, it's fine. And then I start about 20 minutes in. It's like, why is no one moving? So it's been a fun morning because all I wanted to do was talk about the Phillies.
Hang out, talk about the funny point, my breaking point way lower.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
I'm
you
like
can't
3
handle.
minutes in.
You can't handle anything.
I can't handle you being 5 minutes late for a pod. I'm like, what the hell's going on right now? Yeah, I'm the worst at it.
Yeah, very.
So
poor
I
Tucker.
He's lots of sympathy for you there.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, you came in hot. I like it. It was good. It was good. It is nothing worse in the world. Yeah.
But
that's why I live in the city, and that's exactly why. The less driving, the better for your boy. That's literally what Tucker and I spent talking about. We were looking for a spot.
Cherry Hill.
I know.
Suburb guy.
I was like, why would you do that?
Welcome back, buddy.
Sounds horrible.
I'm excited.
Welcome back. There's nothing better. There's nothing better than the suburbs.
Traffic sounds awesome. I can't wait.
Nothing better than the suburbs.
You know what? I don't deal with traffic. I live 7
deal
minutes.
with a lot more. I'll deal with traffic.
I do it being me, which is tough. How you doing, pal?
I'm good. I was watching baseball at 6 a.m. this morning while listening to the morning show, so it was a fun-filled morning.
Nice.
It was fun-filled.
Yeah.
It felt like it did feel so pandemic-y watching baseball in Korea again.
Oh yeah.
Like I know it was so funny because ESPN at that time was clearly like everyone's gonna watch this. Yeah. No one wanted to watch.
Nope.
So
nobody.
Like, even when sports were back,
we're like, oh, we're gonna be Korean baseball league.
Yeah,
guys.
we'll be talking about that on the air. No.
Remember, we all picked a team. We're like, oh, I'm gonna be a whatever Dragons fan.
I think I was always an NC Dinos guy.
Yeah,
because
the NC Dinos. Yeah, that was one of them. Yep.
But it just felt so much like the pandemic where we're watching Korean baseball. I know it's obviously the Dodgers and Padres, but it felt so like I was waiting for the shot of Ravage still in his house, and Eduardo Perez still in his house. But it was great having it back today, and we're so close. We're so close.
Yeah, it's a week away, essentially, a week and a day.
100%. And I've 100% like over spring. Like I'm over spring.
Welcome aboard. I was over spring before it started.
That's not true. That's not true. You're lying to the High Hopes listeners because there's been many texts. Like Johan Rojas' first at bat against the Blue Jays might be the breakout here. So why don't you calm down?
That is not a text that happened. I definitely sent you a text about a Nick Castellanos opposite field.
I will say, when I saw Aiden Miller playing the other day.
Oh yeah,
in the Pirates game.
You know, who was there in person for it?
You were there?
I was there, buddy. I was at that. That was the game I was at.
And you didn't give me the heads up?
No, I didn't.
Do you know how much I care about Aiden Miller?
I know you do.
He's.
I actually talked. Scott Brandreth was at the game. We were talking, and He was like, "This is hilarious. Aiden Miller's in the dugout right now. You can tell Jack you were here, and Aiden Miller was in the game. He got up."
So I have a couple of thoughts on Aiden Miller that I need to get out of the way now.
That's the way to lead the 8 days before opening day. Let's lead with Aiden Miller.
Thank you.
We are fully back.
Thank you.
Oh man,
Aiden Miller. I think it's fair to say is one of the 10 most important people
I thought you were
in my
like
life.
3 months.
No,
It'd be like
Walker exists now.
Jill Walker.
Parents,
Boom. Oh
both
no,
their
I see. I thought
family.
Aiden Miller was clearly above them. So
But,
I
like,
guess I was wrong about that.
Aiden Miller means a lot. Means a lot to me. And I never draft Phillies prospects in fantasy
league?
drafts.
Yeah.
Just because, like,
Too much. You already got too much investment.
too much at stake.
Yeah, you can't double down on
There's
that.
too much at stake.
This
And, like,
is real. Okay?
I wouldn't be able to handle like one of the guys stinking and then
it'd be a
that
disaster
ruining
for you.
my
No,
fantasy season.
No, yeah, you can't have it both ways. You need to win in fantasy if that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I did not draft Aiden Miller, but I seriously considered it.
I'm surprised you didn't break your rule for this one.
I did not
I
break
felt like
my
this
rule.
was the one rare exception.
And all the scumbags in my league,
you just went for it.
they
there.
drafted Andrew Painter in the bonus keeper rounds and whatever. It's fine. I'll get Andrew Painter some other time.
Look at you.
I don't think Andrew Painter's ever going to be on my fantasy team, and that kills me.
It's tough.
It is tough.
Yeah.
It is tough.
I like you've already decided. The kid's like 19 years, 20 years old now, or whatever. It's like he's not in the. If he pitches for 15 years, I'm never gonna own him.
Never gonna own him.
No, it's tough.
Sure.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah, I tell you what. There's so much.
Aiden Miller, Andrew Painter. Let's keep going.
There's so much.
Who else isn't gonna play with the Phillies this year? Who else can we talk about?
There's a lot. I actually have a lot of minor league thoughts at the end of the podcast that I want to make sure I got in.
That's
why I was so
I need to
mad.
nap at some point. Just,
This is why I was
very
so
tired
mad in
today.
traffic. Is because I knew I had a lot of minor league thoughts late, and I knew you weren't going to care. But I figured if I got there at least early enough,
Yeah, I might have
that
let you
it would
know.
make it less painful.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I'm going to be, I'm going to be talking.
I'm
going to
be wanting to go to bed. Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
go to bed right now. But
don't-
you're the only
you're
person I would
fine.
want to talk to. I'm fine.
You're
Okay,
fine.
did you wake up at 3:00 this morning
was up at
after
6.
being on a plane? And then
Plane's a 2-hour flight.
Hey, it
What time did you
takes
get-
it out of you, Jack.
What time
It's
did you
like
get?
the day at the
What time
airport.
did you get in yesterday?
Like 5:00.
Oh, there's plenty of time.
Been home and I gotta
You're not
fly
flying from London. You're
but-
flying from Florida.
I know, but I woke up at 3:00 in the morning the same day. We had some drinks the night before.
Oh,
That
now
slows
it's
me
the
down.
alcohol.
Yeah, blame Rod Lakin for taking us out to dinner. All right, what do you want me to
You
do?
were texting me back at 8:15, which was surprising.
Late. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying. I'm up late.
this is gonna be a
yeah.
problem for
No, I'll
Rod
be
on
all right. I'll
Wednesday.
power through. I mean, you know me.
All right, no, I'm proud of you. No,
I
you're doing a
mean,
great
now
job.
I'm going to tell you, maybe talking about the Major League team might make me a little more.
All right, well, listen.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Major League team. Let's talk about your trip to Clearwater. I will save a more Aiden Miller thoughts for later in the
when
podcast.
I'm really ready to go. I'll get real ornery at the end. It'll be good.
Thank you.
Dude, it's awesome down there. Like, it really is heaven. We only were there for I only got to go to one game. We were like in and out, but that just the 3 hours of the ballpark or whatever was so far and away the highlight of the trip. It's special down there, and it does feel, and you felt, all the guys talked to us, even Dombrowski mentioned it feels like the team's like ready to roll. Like, they are like, even though they had the flu and people are like set back a little bit, it seems like the guys who are ready are like, get me to Philadelphia, get me to the Braves, like, go time. And I love that. Like, that's what they need. I feel like we've talked a lot about, actually winning the division on the radio, about winning the division. It doesn't matter and whatever. And it's hard to say that it matters that much because, they beat the Braves in the playoffs.
I
last
know.
year.
I know.
But I do think it matters. And I got the feeling being down there, talking to Rob, talking to Kyle Schwarber, talking to these guys, that it matters to them. And I think coming off last year, the World Series, or, going into last year off the World Series, this year coming off the playoffs, like, I think that they're in much better shape having done it the year before, knowing what it takes to play deep into October and then turn it back around and come back. I'm really optimistic about a good start this year, Jack. And I know that is a dangerous thing to say because this team has not done that.
Mm-mm.
But, like, could we get a hot start this year?
Well, I will say the flu thing is out of control.
I hate it. Dude, it's like they've done Dombrowski said it 4 times during the interview. He kept being like, he's like Kirkering flew. Sorry, he's behind. This guy flew behind. It's like, all right.
Max Muncy lost 10 pounds. Like, it's all over the place with these guys. So the flu needs to calm down. We got a baseball.
It's like
season.
enough.
Yeah.
It's baseball time.
Listen, not right now. You say the flu for January.
Yeah. Exactly.
But
it's spring, buddy.
It's spring.
Like, let's
Come
go.
on. So yeah,
technically tomorrow, right? Technically spring tomorrow. Is that March 21st?
I always assume it's the 23rd, but it might be the 21st.
It's 21st.
Yeah. There's some. This argument.
Is it the spring equinox? Isn't that what they call it? Right? Something like that.
You are so well
educated. Right?
Yeah, it's equinox, and then summer and winter are solstices.
Solstices. Yep. See,
do that. That's awesome.
Solstice.
Solstice. I'm gonna go with solstice because it sounds better.
Is that
I like that. The plural.
The
yes,
plural
that was
version
the word
of solstice. I was gonna say the multiple.
It could be solstices theoretically, but I think solstice. Yeah. I'm in on that.
But with the Phillies baseball team. Back
so you
to
get grammar talk going, then I'll really get jazzed up here.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, which remind me later in the pod, I gotta go at Jack for something. Okay, just
grammar related or just in general?
Yeah, probably.
I did struggle to find out or struggle to spell the word maintenance this morning. So, and I gave up. You ever give up while texting? Like I was like, I can't do it. I'll come back to it.
Not that hard a word.
It's not that hard. It's absolute brain fart. So, and don't ask me to spell it right now.
You just came up with another word instead. You're just like, all right, I'm not gonna figure this out. And I'm like,
100%. Yeah, like
synonym.
Too much. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah. No, I gave up. That's the beauty of autocorrect.
Yeah, well, the beauty of
the problem was the autocorrect.
That's my point. That's what I was about to say. Is you were so bad with the
spelling. So off.
I will say there are times where autocorrect, I'm like, you should be able to get this. It's like a letter off or whatever. But sometimes, when you're that bad.
It was bad. I can't. Right now, I'm stumped on the word maintenance.
I'll
figure it out one of these days, but I'll let you know.
I'll teach you, buddy. No worries.
So, opening day, and getting off to a hot start. So, I agree with you. Like, and that was the feeling when I was down there that with the way they've been together for the amount of time that they've been together, I think there's. I know it doesn't matter about winning the division, and they ultimately just getting in is all that really matters. But I think that they want to be viewed not as the
plucky team that keeps winning in the playoffs. Yeah,
I think they want to be well established as one of the best teams in baseball,
which they are.
But I feel like they don't get talked about in those circles because of
they haven't put it together all year yet.
Even though they have the most playoff wins in baseball the last 2 years,
Yep.
They don't get talked about as one of the elites because it's like, oh, they get in and get hot.
And because they've lost the division by 11 and 14 or 12 and 14 games those 2 years, so it's like they're not even in the contention for the division.
Sure, and maybe it could also just be this team's identity. If they get off to a slow start and it's like, I wonder how. I'm curious to see how the fan base handles it because like last year I didn't handle it very well.
No, you could say that, buddy.
They got off to a slow start because it's like, well, last year's clearly a fluke, but it also just might be the identity of this team where it's like they never panic. They don't change, and when June rolls around, bang, here we go. So I agree with you that I do believe that they'll get off to a better start, and I think they're very focused on it. And it seems like that they are treating these spring games heading into the year more like regular season games. But there's a part of me that says maybe their identity is just get in and figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully,
and how sustainable is that?
Exactly. That's what. Like, wouldn't it be nice? How about this then? How about instead of just don't start bad. How about just start average?
I'll take 500 till June,
and then you could be a 100 team by the way you play the rest of the season. There you go. Like just don't start horribly. Don't give us another 1-5 to start the season.
I know this is like I say this 5 times a podcast, and I know that I'm sure there's people that get tired of it, but I'm just like. So excited for the journey. Just think, because while you were doing that, I was thinking about Kimbrel blowing the game against the Dodgers last year, and I was like, I know that was painful in the moment, but I'm ready to feel that again. You know what I mean? So like the real
you're such like a wide-eyed, cockeyed little. I'm just there for the journey, man.
The journey. I know,
like not about the destinations. It's not like Jalen Hurts actually. A little bit.
Well, listen, that's my quarterback. But actually, I feel like I sound like a big J Journo of like, the journey. And listen,
you know what I care about, Jack? Winning a freaking championship.
We've had this argument.
Yeah, I know.
Not many people on my side. Believe it or not. The journey the journey is more exciting than a championship.
Oh, stop.
Like,
the journey is great because you win the championship.
Sure, I agree.
But
the championship's great. It's just, I don't know if being in a dynasty is that fun. Give me a ring once every 5 years.
20 years.
5 to 10 years in that window. I'm happy. And I think it means more.
Well, of course, if you can get if we win like 6 in 60 years, yeah, it's a different story. We've got 2 in 130 or whatever. I mean,
Yeah, but in my lifetime.
Okay.
Whatever.
We're still not averaging many in your lifetime,
One.
big dog.
Yeah,
we're 1 per 30 years at this point. So,
Yeah.
Maybe we could up that average a little bit, Maybe if we up the average a bit and we win 2 in 10 years, I'll be like, yeah, the journey. The
That's
journey's
a
great.
big ask,
right
man.
now, I just want to freaking ring.
That's a big ask. And I do too. Like the last couple of years have been fun. Like 22, I don't know if I'd trade that for the world. Like the 22 postseason was magic. Last year, magical moments that just
And abruptly,
cratered.
yes. Yeah.
And we've talked a lot about it, where heading into the year, I think the expectations over the last month have been risen, which is good. But I don't sense I think people with the Sixers are just mad at the Sixers.
Yeah.
All you do is lose in the second. I think people can't wait for the baseball team.
Which is
And
awesome, by the way, because we were nervous about
I
it.
was 100% nervous.
Like when we talked about it before, when we did that show with freaking Stacey Gallen in our face being a
Ah.
total jerk to us,
Yeah.
we still think about that.
Yeah, Stacey.
Not cool, man. All we did was give you guys credit. I know Jack maybe ripped the Diamondbacks a little bit, but we gave your son
They're not
credit.
making
We
the
gave the
playoffs
team
this year.
credit.
They're frauds.
but-
Zach Gallen got ripped in the World Series and by the Phillies. So relax.
When we did that show, you and I really that was honestly, it was the saddest part of the whole thing. It felt like it was the end of the journey, but it also felt like that for some reason it won't be as fun.
Yes.
Because now it'll just be a different mindset with the team, and I've not felt that at all.
Mm-mm.
I feel full on joy, excitement, ready for the season, ready to roll. It's awesome.
Well, I felt like the magic was worn off, and that's one of the most fascinating parts of last year's postseason is because I thought the magic of 2022, no way it could translate to 2023, and then you have the stock Grand Slam, and it's just
You had it until they went to Arizona. They had the match.
They had it all. So it's still there. It's still there, and I do think the expectations have been risen. I don't think winning 90 games is going to really be satisfying for people this year. I think people are expecting 93 to 96. That's about where I am, and no more of this 10 games out of the division by early September, and the Braves can clinch on your field again.
Yeah, no.
That has to be done. Just go be one of the best teams in baseball. You have enough talent because they've completely mostly underachieved in the last 2 regular seasons.
Yeah.
And
certainly the first 2 months, which you could say that after the first 2 months, they've been the team that they should be. They've played close to 100 win pace both years after that, but it's just, they buried themselves the first 2 months.
And Schwarber, it was funny. He was on with you guys.
Fascinating, right?
He was like, yeah, I make this way harder on myself.
He's like, I know. We asked him, he's like, I don't know, guys. He's like, I think about it all the time. He's like, the thing now is I might be just putting too much pressure on myself early. He's like, I might just need to go out and be carefree. And I'm like, yeah, dude. But he knows. He's like, I can't put my fingers on it. I can't grasp it.
Have you ever been around or seen a more honest sports team than this Phillies
It's
team?
unbelievable, dude. I mean, we had Stubbs and Schwarber, Thompson and Dombrowski, but all 4 of those guys,
we had Trey and Harper.
Pure honesty, just giving us genuine stuff. Yeah, Trey and Harper. I mean, it really is.
Larry Boa. I mean, I know he's not technically a part of the team, but he's a big part of the whole organization.
Totally.
Charlie's very honest.
Yeah.
By the way,
it's another great point.
By the way,
Charlie's amazing.
I'm so happy.
It's like the best. Honestly, I want the Phillies to win a World Series. That's the best news we'll have all year. Is how Charlie's doing. That is so freaking amazing and so great. We all love Charlie
for sure.
But yeah, but to this point, I think it's a really interesting point to bring up. I think that's part of why we have the love affair with them and why all that stuff happened is these guys feel genuine to us.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like
even Castellanos.
Yeah, but, not just even Castellanos, maybe especially Castellanos. That guy.
He might be too honest.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I'm like, Nick, what the bleep are you talking about, man? The milk quote all time, but also what is? How does that form in your head?
By the way, of all the Philly actors or athletes that have been in commercials, dude, Castellanos is an unbelievable actor. Did you see the commercial?
I have not. No, I haven't seen it.
Dude, he's in a Corona commercial.
Yeah, he's good.
He's when it's all said and done, his career's done here.
Oscar worthy.
He could be an actor. He's very believable. I'll show you that after the show.
I'm gonna try. Yeah,
he is he sells it. Because he's just so. he's just so incredibly real. Doesn't matter if the camera's on or camera's off.
Yeah.
I think he's just always Nick Castellanos. But I agree with you. I think that's why there's been a connection between this team and the city that we haven't seen. We've had spurts of it with teams, but why they've connected so well is because I just think they're all real. I mean, you go from you've Harper at first base, who I know people didn't think was real. I think he's proven that it's real.
Oh yeah.
JT's real. He doesn't talk much, but he's real.
I mean, we did that video of him with his
exactly,
and we're dads that hit me.
Sure.
I'm like, I would be crying too. Like, yeah, dude. Like, my God, it does mean everything. It's like that kind of stuff.
Sure. Trey, open up and be like, hey, I hope I'm not as bad as last year to where I need the standing O's again.
Yeah.
So that's very real. Boom. I bleeping hate this place.
Boom. Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
Loving it here. Schwarber's incredibly real.
Marshy.
Marsh is again another one.
Almost too much. It's like, bro, rein it in a bit. All right. I don't need to know everything that you want to tell me.
Take a deep breath.
It's a great point. I didn't think about it in those terms, but I think you're dead on.
But I think that's why they have the connection, and that's why if they can just get it done, it's gonna be amazing. And it's good that a lot of people feel like this is the year, and I think they talk like it's the year. And I was just watching the Dodgers today, and I was like, I can't wait to watch you guys fold again.
Oh.
Although I will say, that Shohei guy's pretty good.
He's okay.
He seems so.
Well, this is why you want to take advantage of this year. My man ain't pitching this year, so
dude,
it's a big one.
He seems impossible to get out.
It's insane. What almost seems like, and you saw it in the spring too, it almost seems like because he's not pitching this year, he just kind of put it all into hitting, and it looks like he's a better hitter.
Sick.
Yeah, it's
Great.
ridiculous. He looks amazing.
Yeah, Glasnow.
He's getting 50-something homers this year, bro.
It's unbelievable how much Glasnow looks like that actor.
Oh, I know, like Cillian Murphy or Killian Murphy. Yeah. People say it both ways. I go Killian. I don't know why I said so.
Proud of you, buddy.
Yeah. He looks exactly like him.
It's unbelievable.
He
could be in Peaky
Blinders.
Blinders.
Yeah, it's one of the all-time, he could be Oppenheimer. It's one of the all-time fictional athlete looks like an actor type.
So you're a huge movie guy, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The live tweeting of the Oscars was something.
I tweeted 3 times.
I might as well have been live tweeting.
Yes.
Yeah. It's almost as annoying.
For me, live tweeting is 3 tweets during an event.
It was almost as annoying as the WWE when people do the tweet during Raw. He turned heel. Drives me nuts. Anyway. Is Oppenheimer is it the best movie of the last 15 years?
So I wouldn't say the best of the last 15 years. It's definitely I think it's the best movie of the 2020s, probably.
I'm pretty anti new movies. As a 90s man.
Which is so funny.
Yeah.
You and Elliot, I do 2 pods with the 2 opposite people.
I want everything
let
to
me
go
tell you,
back to the 90s.
I am much more on your side than on Elliot's. Elliot, watch a freaking old.
Although I watched Barbie.
I can't believe it to say old movie 90s. Yeah, Barbie's good.
Yeah, dude. By the way,
Barbie's really entertaining.
90s, 30 plus years ago.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Thanks, buddy. That's good. That's real good. I think the last 15 years, because I think it's a really good question. 2007 is not 15 years ago. There Will Be Blood, I would say, was better. No Country for Old Men. Those were better movies.
Oh, No Country for Old Men was okay.
Not a No Country for Old Men.
A little too overhyped for me.
Yeah.
That movie I was never a huge fan of, and anything with Daniel Day-Lewis I can't stand.
Well, There Will Be Blood. There you go.
He is
the best,
worst.
The best living
He's
actor.
the worst
actor.
actor
No big deal.
of all time.
The best living actor. So
Nicolas Cage is 10 times more.
So it's funny that you bring this up. Let me. Nicolas Cage.
I
actually love Nicolas.
Tucker, do you think this is a mistake?
Was it a mistake?
Asking
get ready for this. You want to see
a little bit.
You want to see why this
really
is such a big mistake? Oh my God, you have no idea. Let me pull up my list here of. Oh wait, do I have my top movies of the 2010s? Do I have my top 5 movies of the 2000s? Do I have top movies of the 2020s? So I can go through my list and try and figure this out.
Did you just do that on your own?
I've got notes. I keep notes now. So I have lists. I'm a big list. I've become a list guy. All these things. I've got, and they'll be personal lists. I've got concerts I've been to. I've got all kinds of weird stuff. I did I'm getting super nerdy here. How about this? I did the top 5 Christopher Nolan movies. I got top 5 actor director combos.
This was a mistake.
Like De Niro and Scorsese type
This was a
stuff.
mistake.
Remember when he got mad? He
Top
mentioned
5
Miller?
disappointing installments of a cherished movie franchise. I just started making movie
What the hell
lists.
does that even mean?
It means like Star Wars 9, the last Star Wars, disappointing. Rocky 5, incredibly disappointing.
Does the ones with Baby Yoda, do they count?
No,
Okay.
that's a TV show.
Star Wars.
Mandalorian, I guess so. I was talking just movies, but that's good. So anyway, back to the
Does
initial
this
question.
buy me at least 5 minutes on the minor leaguers
No,
at the
you
end?
brought this up. This was my. Oh, Get Out. I would say Get Out might be the best.
I
movie
should
of the last
see Get
15
Out.
years. Get Out is awesome. Love that movie. Moonlight. You might not like that, but that's a great movie. Arrival. Have you seen Arrival?
No.
I don't know if that was 15 or more. That's a great movie too. Anyway, I could go on and on and on and on and on. And on. Whiplash. I don't think it's 15 years.
See, I did
a little
love
more than
Whiplash.
15,
I
but
did
that
love
movie's
Whiplash.
amazing.
Yeah.
I love Whiplash. I think it's only 10 years.
Miles
So,
Teller
our
should
guy.
have been on high hopes, but
someday High Hopes guest, future High Hopes guest, Miles Teller. That's right.
for those of you who don't
Was
know,
this close?
For those of you that
It's
don't
just-
know.
Yeah, go for it.
so here we are, right? We're entering into Game 6, and like halfway through, our good buddy John Brazier.
Who I just spent time with in spring training. The
Love-
best dude. Love John.
John Brazier. Although
Uh-oh.
Virginia basketball is the worst thing to ever happen to college sports.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like-
Tony Bennett should be just.
Like the day he
Never allowed to
retires
coach a game
is,
again.
is
Yes.
is a great day for basketball.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So he's a Virginia alum. That's why.
That's
we
why
say
he
that.
did that. Yes, it was a deep cut.
It was. No one cares. But Brazier, halfway through Game 6, says to Seltzer and I, "Hey, if the Phillies win, Miles Teller will come on the postgame."
I think I'd get Miles Teller on the postgame.
Right.
Yeah,
And
you know,
me,
I think he could do it.
I don't think. I think I just got off watching Whiplash, flying home from the NLCS.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, perfect. Just like, because I hold a high standard to the celebrities that quote unquote like our sports teams,
Yes,
and I Miles Teller,
he's a real one.
He passes my.
He's a
smell test.
real one. Like he's actually a Philly sports fan, and I respect the hell out of that.
So I couldn't wait.
How great is Whiplash?
Whiplash is great.
Great movie. I actually just rewatched it. It's amazing. J.K. Simmons is so good.
It's a little long for me. I'm
Well,
strictly.
it's an hour and 45 minutes long.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. It's not, and it felt too long. At
Okay,
some points.
really?
I'm an hour and a half. Yeah.
I look, the shorter the better. I am big. Like if I will watch any 90-minute movie. Like I'm in. It's 90 minutes, sure, why not? Like very with you.
Yeah.
And movies now, it's like everyone makes 3 hour. It's like enough already. Like
The only 3+ hour movie I liked was The Return of the King.
it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Godfather. Yeah, you've never
Never seen The Godfather.
You should-
I know.
yeah,
It's too long.
it's a,
I don't got time. When Walker
it's good. Yeah.
futures are
Yeah,
10,
it's
I'll watch
someday,
Godfather.
yeah.
Give me a decade and I'll
That's
walk
fair.
back to
That's
it.
fair.
But yeah, so Miles Teller was about to be on high hopes post game, and it was like, wow, this is a huge deal. And then they lost Game 6 and 7 because he's probably going to come on Game 7 too.
Mhm.
But then the Phillies going to get it done. Thus, we never got to talk to Miles Teller.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I know the Phillies players feel really bad about what happened last season. They've talked about it. They feel like Kyle Schwarber's like, I know how disappointed the city was. We were 10 times more disappointed that happened.
I actually
Whatever.
like that quote.
I did too.
That
I
meant a
really
lot to
liked
me.
it. It was really good to hear that because he was like, I get it, and he's like, we were super upset. It's like we always just want you to feel the same way as us, but
That's why the end of the Eagle season made me so mad.
exactly, because it was like they were whatever. But that's the point. Is like Kyle should have added in there, and we're really upset that you guys didn't get Miles Teller because that's our fault too.
Hey.
Like if they had just acknowledged that, it would like have gone such a long way.
There's always next year.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah, this year. Our year.
Better
All
not be
right.
next year.
Speaking of which,
Yes.
should we talk some baseball?
We've been talking baseball.
Yeah, but I want to get into some specifics.
Good.
Yeah, some actual season starting. All right, so Dombo, we met with him.
By the way, real quick,
what a talk.
are we gonna do our bold predictions pod next pod?
Yeah, that's our next spot. I think like our season preview bowl predictions pod.
Because I'm just letting you know, I'm simply too high on almost everything.
It was my idea. I'm
No, I know.
fully in on this.
No,
Yes.
you are. No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was just making sure we know that.
Yeah. Oh, I
Because
can't wait. You're going to be just every player.
Which is the problem. Like it hurts my credibility.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to narrow it down.
That's why we
to
called it bold. I want people to understand where you might be actually making real predictions, but we're going to sell them as bold predictions.
Correct.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Calculate.
I thought a couple things with the Dombrowski stuff that I thought were really interesting, but I think the most relevant to season, and then Matt Gelb put out an article this morning about it saying, we asked about Rojas, and we asked about the Pache Rojas thing, and you gave a really interesting answer about, generally, if a guy can't make it to majors, he would want them to have more time in the minors. But he talked about the widening gap between AAA and the majors. Now, you might not actually even be able to get the work there. It did seem like a answer without saying that Rojas was going to be up, that trended more towards positive for Rojas, basically saying, like, look, I don't think the minors are going to do enough for him. And then this morning, Matt Gallup puts out an article saying they had meetings on Tuesday and that they are still leaning towards Rojas starting the season in center field after the rough spring training.
He is batting 156.
Yeah. Where do you stand on Pache? No options. That's another factor in the whole thing. Where do you stand on this as we are a week? Because we thought it was going to be Rojas, and then he couldn't hit. So where are we at?
So they just might not like Christian Pache as much as I think the outside does. That's nothing that makes sense. Like, it's not really anti-Rojas, but at the same time, he's never really been able to hit. Like, I know he had a good start to the year at Reading last year and whatever. They seem incredibly convinced the guy can hit. And I'm just not. I'm not convinced he can hit. And I know his defense is special. But, like, teams spent all offseason figuring out, okay, what's the hole in the swing? Well, the hole in the swing is that he chases. And he can't. I don't know if he's going to be able to see spin. Now, maybe if Schwarber is batting leadoff and you have the kind of protection at the bottom of the lineup.
Which is a reason to put Schwarber in there if you're going to have Rojas in the lineup, yeah.
Sure. So I would put Pache there and start him at AAA. I understand what Dave is saying, and that's fine. But he might legit bat like 150 to 200.
Yeah, you can't do that.
To start the season.
You can, with the defense he plays, 220-ish, you can get by. You can survive with some speed and whatever. 150, like, you have to be. I'm trying to think. Is there, outside of pitcher rack a day, would the best defensive catcher in the sport be worth 150? Like, well, I'm trying to get to, like, how great a defensive player at how important a position do you have to be for you to be okay with the 150 batting average for the season? It's got to be like the best defensive catcher in this. Yeah, but seriously, like, the best defensive catcher in the sport, the most valuable signal caller, everything does. Like, maybe you would carry that guy with 150, and even then he'd probably be your backup catcher.
Now here's my thought process as well, is that it seems like that they really value loyalty and, like, trusting with a plan. And I think it was always going to be Rojas.
Well, that was their messaging. I mean, we had Dombrowski on a month ago, and he was, like, effusive.
Yeah. No, and so I think that it's their plan. I think they're going to go with it. And if it costs them Christian Pache, which I think it will, I think they're just going to go with it.
So real quick, so you don't think they'd keep, like, Cave because of the left side of the bat?
I don't know if they would keep both. I just don't know how
think one of those two makes the roster, right? Pache or Cave?
Yeah. One, and I think it'd be Cave.
So that's my point. So you think Pache would be gone? That's interesting.
Yeah, I do. I just, like,
because both those guys, probably, like, Pache will definitely get picked up. I think Cave probably gets picked up by somebody. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But either way, the point is neither of those guys have options.
Like, been so good that you have to have David Dahl.
Neither of those guys have options, either Cave or Pache.
Again, like,
I just don't understand why you would pick Cave over Pache. Like, he's a left-handed bat, but, like,
because of a left-handed bat.
But whatever, you got lefties all over the freaking field. Like, what are we doing here?
I don't know. I mean, but Pache and Rojas are kind of interchangeable.
I know they are. But don't you want a little insurance if Rojas? I mean, Marsh is the center fielder again. Is that what we're doing?
Well, that's what I was going to bring up. Is that I wouldn't be surprised if the opening day lineup is Marsh in center and Witt in left.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't either, especially with the way it's played out. Yeah.
I mean, Witt's been great.
Witt's been great.
He's been great.
Witt's good. What a good baseball player.
What a
fun little guy to have on your team, huh?
They've also, like, had him all over the. They've had him in Lakeland. They've sent him on road trips, which is funny. He's like 35 years old.
Yeah.
He's the oldest player on the team. They have him going on these where the only people in the lineup that's interesting is, like, him, Stott, and Bohm.
Yeah.
It's like, man, they're sending him all over the place. So I think more and more that Marsh is going to be the center fielder on opening day, and that Witt's going to be in left field. And the only problem with that is that part of the Witt signing was he's not going to have to play every day, so he'll get the most out of him.
And he's valuable giving you versatile things instead of just being a left fielder.
They signed him for.
He's not a left field bat either. I mean, I know they got power in other spots, so it's not as big a deal. But, like,
he's not.
You don't want Whit Merrifield as your left fielder every day. Like, that's not great.
They paid him $8.5 million. They paid him a
chunk.
He's not coming in here to be a part-time player. He's gonna play, I think, between like 100 and 110,
maybe more, maybe like 120.
Yeah. So, but the Rojas thing is, it's just. They're so convicted with it, And I guess it's good to have conviction. I think that's how when you have a guy like Rob Thompson, I think part of his calling card is being loyal, and guys trust him and never panics or anything like that. But I just don't know if Rojas has earned the right of or the benefit of the doubt of, he'll be fine. Because again, throughout the minor leagues, he was a pretty good hitter, but there was always concerns of, does he chase too much? So I guess I'm fine with it because it's what they believe, but I have this fear that we're looking up at the end of April. He's batting 150, and
Pache's gone, and you don't have that other guy, yeah.
And I mean, Simone Muzziotti.
And again, to the point that I know, and I thought what Dombrowski said is fascinating, because I do agree. Look, I think you could argue it's more valuable to play in AA than AAA right now, with at least the high end stuff you'll see in AA. With it's regardless that the gap between AAA and the majors has widened, but at the same time, is it more valuable for him to play 2 days a week if that's what you end up doing, or 3 days a week?
So bad?
You know what I mean? He needs to see pitches.
What is so bad about starting the season at AAA and seeing if you can hit there, and then bring him up?
Especially because, look, him hitting 156 in spring in and of itself is that sucks. But when you know that he came to spring with them, I'm assuming saying they certainly told us, hey, it's your job to lose, buddy, just go out and hit. And he still couldn't freaking hit. That's concerning to me. That's concerning that the guy had one job to come into spring and hit 220. And he can't hit 160. That concerns me.
Mm-hmm. So I just don't know. I know there's a gap between AAA but it's also
it can't be that big.
It's also a long season.
You need pitching. You need to see pitches.
And let him also, if he's working on swing changes, let him work where the pressure's not as much. And I don't think he's a guy that will
lose his head or whatever. No,
I don't think he'd lose all confidence if they send him down in AAA. Is he that much of a part of the whole long-term plan here that you're worried it might screw him up if he goes down to AAA to start the season?
Well,
because he's 7 for 44 now in spring.
Again, when he has it, and it's not like he's facing aces every time he's going up there,
No, I mean, now he has been at the top of the lineup.
I know he's faced some guys here.
Maybe if he bats him 9th for the next couple of days.
And then on top of it, the thing with Pache, it's it's not like he's not a great defensive outfielder too. I know he's not Rojas, but Pache is an elite defensive outfielder too.
And he's got concerns about hitting.
He's not anything, I'm not saying he's a lock for anything, but it feels like a situation where you can lose a guy or not lose a guy, and I'd rather not lose Pache.
Yeah, and again, I don't know what is such a big deal about starting him in AAA, but I if I had to read the situation right now, I think he's on the opening day roster, and I think Pache's not here, and I think that Marsh and Whit Merrifield play a lot, and they play center and left, and we kind of go from there. And then maybe if Rojas is getting
Rojas would definitely get against lefties in that spot
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So, but it's interesting.
No,
they really believe in him
clearly. And look, I would be more of the point where if they're going to keep him on the roster, then you play him. I think the guy needs at bats one way or another. If
you believe in him, believe in him. Just
yeah,
start
for
him
real.
up.
I mean, Stubbs he talked about when he was with us. By the way, if you haven't gotten a chance to listen to that, go listen to Garrett Stubbs' interview. I mean, he is just bursting with personality. It's that's why you're the chief vibes officer guy. Yeah, you're incredibly likable.
That's why Aramis Garcia could have hit
10,000 this
one.
Right?
You're not touching the backup spot.
But Stubbs talked a lot about how hard that is. Where he's when I get 1 day a week to go up there, and he's and these guys are throwing 100. He's like, man, it's it is really hard to not see live pitching and then go up once a week and try and hit it. He's it's really hard, man. And I believe it. I believe that's really hard. And he's someone who is a backup catcher. That's his career. So you learn to do those things. I think Rojas needs it back. How it shakes out. All right, one other thing that I want to get to the take back, because I know you're going to go nuts, and Aiden Miller and the whole thing, and you earned it. That's fine. I did do some movie talk, which you started. But last thing, just because I saw you tweet about this, and we asked both Dave and Topper about it, and they both were, they both said, look, ideally in a perfect world, we want to have a closer, but we're fine going committee. There's no one, whatever. Mm-hmm. I saw you tweet about it. You have an idea for who should be the closer for this? Because I think you and I both agree, and it's not something we've kind of come around to this, but I want them to have a closer. Like, I want them to have a dude whose job it is to be the closer. Set guy. Like, I think it's important. I really do. Go ahead. I thought it was really interesting.
I think it's going to be Jeff Hoffman. I think that by May or April, April's probably early, but by the end of May, I think it's going to come out. It's going to be obvious that he's the best option back there. And I think for a couple of reasons. So Alvarado and Sir Anthony, I just think are so much better as firemen. Come in 7th, 8th, whatever. I also think that they would like someone to go take the job and run with it. It's why they freaking ran Kimbrel into the ground last year because he was good in the first half. So I think they're fine with having a set closer. And I think they have enough arms now to where Jeff Hoffman is, I think, too good to be like, okay, you're coming in the 6th now, or you're coming in the 5th, or if you want to get to the playoff games, the 3rd. And like game 1 masterclass against the Braves. And I just think he has, like in spring so far, he's been nasty. Stuff's there. He's commanding well enough. He's never going to be a throwing dots out there. But he's locating well enough to where he's usable. And I just think he has the mentality. And you look up and down the bullpen, and I just think everyone else settles into a better role if Hoffman's there. And it's not like they're losing something huge with him not being able to come in the 5th, 6th, whatever, once Sir Anthony's not able to go, or whoever else, because they do have extra arms now. Like you have Kirkering once he gets back from the flu.
Freaking flu, man.
the flu is taking down the team, man. Like you have Soto, you have Strahm. Like Strahm is probably the most underrated
by far, dude. Strahm's really good.
Strahm's really good.
Like when I see Strahm running from the bullpen, I feel great.
Dude, their bullpen is
so much better.
It's nasty.
I mean, we talked about it last time, but like thinking about the Ramon Rosso squad, like just like the names we saw, who was the guy? Mike Morin. Remember 69 miles an hour, Mike Morin.
Mike Morin, Blake Parker.
Like all these. I mean, it was like a who's who of horrendous
Jared
relievers.
Hughes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he was running from the bullpen guy, right?
Horrible.
That I do love that JT meme has lived
Forever.
and lived and lived
Forever.
and lived.
So I just think they have enough arms to where, like, I think the best, because I wouldn't trust Soto to close. I guess I trust Strami, but
it is funny because Dombrowski always mentions him.
I
Like
know.
he's like Soto's close, and it's like, yeah, we know, dude.
I know he had 26 saves, but I think he had like
30. I think 30.
He
Yeah,
had like 14 losses.
an all-star
in that year too.
for them. I think a 2-time maybe. I know he's at least a 1-time all-star.
Yeah. So I just think it's going to bear out that Hoffman's a closer. I think he has a mentality for it, and I think that you can use Alvarado all over the place. You can use Sir Anthony all over the place. When Kirkman gets back up, he can replace Hoffman from that standpoint, and I think he's got the stuff. So I think by the end of May that Hoffman's going to be this team's closer.
I love it. And look, it's not like ideally teams prefer right-handed closers. I mean, we know that. They want to have their lefties for those situations and use them. Like, it makes a ton of sense.
Best closer Hoffman in baseball history.
Probably.
Jeff Hoffman.
Yeah, he will be.
And
someday.
I think the first time I really thought about it was frankly that Braves game where it was like a 3-2 count in the 3rd inning, bases loaded or at least runners in scoring position.
Yeah.
He got the stones to throw a 3-2 split for to get a swing and a miss. Like that's moxie, man.
Yeah.
And
he's imposing too. Not that it matters in the closer role, but like I don't know. Like I see a 6'7" dude come in as a closer. I'm like
throwing 100. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's imposing. You know, you want your guy to kind of have that. So I'm with you. I thought it was a really, really clever call by you.
Come on, Hoffman.
You know, once in a while, you get one.
Every once in a while.
Now let's see you compare some minor leaguer to the next Kurt Schilling or whatever you're gonna do, or whoever.
Oh, by the way, speaking of maybe closing options or at least relief options, Griff McGarry's a full-time reliever
well,
now.
Dombrowski talked about it with us. Like he mentioned Griff, and he's like, yeah, he's a reliever now. Like we have made him a reliever. And then he also mentioned your guy going to the minors. Sadly, sorry about that.
Who?
Mercado.
Oh yeah, I know.
So he's gonna be in AAA.
That's fine.
I know.
They're getting the best AAA bullpen too.
Just letting you know. Just letting you know there.
Listen. We have
He did mention him unbidden though. Like he was talking, and he's like, and we have this guy Michael Mercado. We're really impressed with him. He'll be in the Myers start, but I think we can help. You know, so
2 baseball guys.
Just saying.
So by June, we could have reliever Griff, Mercado, and Kirkering. 3 young pieces. Where they got arms.
Can you even fit those guys on the roster? We got too many arms.
Too many arms. Trade someone.
This is what we've always had a problem with.
Yeah.
So many arms.
Building a super bullpen. So Griff to the bullpen, it just makes sense. I mean, it doesn't seem like he's ever going to be able to find it command-wise to be a starter. And again, his stuff.
Go up max effort.
Stuff plays. Stuff plays. So the worst thing that's happened to me in the last week is Saturday was obviously birthday party, big day.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, you got it back?
So his little unicorn. Our
That's
buddy
good.
Joe Giglio got it back for me. Should I put it on for the video?
Yeah, it's very nice.
Is this a good look?
It's a good look. You should keep it on.
Thank you. Okay.
The worst thing that happened on Saturday was the breakout game was at 1, so I could only watch the first 3 innings of it.
Uh-huh.
I was like, not too big of a deal. Like they'll obviously put the full game up on MLB.tv. They never put it up.
Oh no.
They put up an 8-minute video of the condensed highlights.
Oh no.
So yeah, I watched Mick, and that was great. Ada Miller ripped a baseball. Phenomenal.
Do you think did they create this spring breakout game for you?
I think so.
And then you didn't watch it. This is tough.
I did watch the first 3 innings, and then I had to leave. Unfortunately, I was gonna be late. I was gonna show up at after.
You could have.
Yeah, it's my own birthday
Yeah,
party.
you could have whatever you wanted.
So, so I saw Justin Crawford. It was the first at bat, and it was that just rips the ball into the ground, just rips it into the ground and beats it out for an infield
Willie
single.
Mays Hayes style.
and then steals second, and it was about as vintage Justin Crawford as it could be. But yes, I did not get to see the whole thing, and I did see later Starlin Caba had some unbelievable defensive plays, and he's also phenomenal. So I can't wait for the minor league season. For as much as I'm excited about the Phillies,
Yeah, it's whatever the Phillies. Yeah, minor league season.
because they have so many more interesting guys for the first time in a while, and there's guys that the Threshers again are going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to watch.
I was just in their home.
I know Caba might be there.
Clearwater's great.
Clearwater's the best.
Yeah.
So they do have actually interesting guys for the first time in a while. Rangers had an unbelievable spring.
He looked great yesterday.
And it's so funny because you're going through these fantasy drafts, and Christopher Sanchez is viewed way higher
Than Ranger?
in the fantasy community than
Why?
Ranger. Well, because
that's silly. I love Christopher Sanchez. Ranger
so in my 2 leagues I had drafts this weekend. They're both 26 rounds, and then we have waivers.
Don't tell me he didn't get taken in the 26.
Ranger didn't get taken at all through waivers through anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I could use here's a nice 3.3 ERA, Rangers.
I think that's in
A
play.
fully established kind of year from Rangers.
160 innings. You didn't get that from Ranger?
Last year, obviously went to the World Baseball Classic, was banged up, and didn't really get into a rhythm until I want to say maybe that Padres series in the middle of June.
Well, no, didn't he have a good May and then a bad June, or vice versa? It was a
One of
good
those
June and then but either way, and then he went on a little run, and then he had some struggles again, and I'm with you.
Obviously, the postseason.
Look, this is the first one in this is the first one since he's been in the rotation that he's actually been there for a full spring training.
Mm-hmm. So I just think that it's in play, and I can't believe PSA. Rangers better than Chris Sanchez. Okay, I like Chris Sanchez. I was fascinated by him last year.
I don't even. It's it's not a take.
Fantasy
it's a factual statement.
Fantasy community.
Always trying to get look at the next new guy. We're gonna be cool. It's no, dude, just take the better player.
Yeah. How about
I wonder why we win our fantasy leagues every year.
all the time. How about Topper throwing out that he thinks Bohm could hit 30 to 35?
What the hell was that? I love you, Topper, but how about he hits 20 before we say 30?
20 last year.
All right, how about he hits 25 before he hits 35? I mean, I love it. But how about I won't even give a number. How about just lift the ball consistently, and then I'll worry about it.
How about give me lead the league in doubles, because you can if you want to.
Oh, look at you. I love it.
You can.
I love when he runs down and he's you should lead the league in doubles, no problem.
You should.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alex, just lead the league in doubles.
Don't
worry about the summer. Just go lead the league in doubles. You got it.
He should be able to do that. And he gets in these modes, rips the ball into the ground. Just lift it. So that was a bold,
An incredibly bold, but
not as bold as listen. Love John Middleton. Not as bold as him saying he thinks that Rojas could hit 285 or 300 one day.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
John, no.
I
mean, it is funny because
he did hit 302.
302 last year. Yeah, so I guess I can't rip John much for that one.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see. And 2 more. We don't often get good ace matchups anymore.
Yeah,
but
just to start, you talk about start of the season.
Wheeler Strider.
I'm so excited for it. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good to start the year. It's the 2 best pitchers in the National League, right? Burns got traded. Shoei's hurt. probably the two best pitchers in the National League.
Favorites.
Right? Or I didn't know. I didn't look, but I would guess probably the two best pitchers in the National League squaring off to start the season.
By the way, Strider, I don't think he's allowed to run yet in spring.
Oh yeah. And he's also. Did you see those numbers at the regular season versus postseason? The postseason, obviously 0-3 versus the Phillies. He's 8-0 in the regular season against the Phillies. Like, he has owned us.
Dude, they own us in the regular season, and then we
8-0.
Get him in the postseason.
No big deal.
What a recipe.
He's very good. And you know what? We did give him credit. Like, we're gonna yell at him and have fun with it opening day. But like, I have a lot more. That's my point. I have a lot of respect for that guy. Like, after that, he had the best quotes. They handled it the best. Like, gave credit where due. Like, I had a lot of respect, and he pitched well that game. Like, it was not his fault they lost that baseball game.
Do you think that, because last year, obviously, there was a lot that aligned with the year before. Do you think they're going to do that again?
Freaking like a carbon copy. Yeah.
Do you think they're going to 3 straight years of the same thing?
No, they better not. I can't do, though, that. First of all, we're winning the World Series this year, please.
Okay, right.
I can't do this again. I really need them not to be 8 games under 500 in May.
There's so many bits they do.
Yeah. The bits will be. I mean, Kyle Schwarber is going to start slow. I mean, then it'll hit a lot. You know, and then
actually, I would prefer him to start slow.
Just because it feels natural.
Just so we get to June and the June Schwarber thing. It's great.
Kyle, don't listen to Jack. Start hot. It'd be nice.
And the final thing, not to end this on a damper, but I'm a little worried about the Harper back situation.
Are you really?
Not for this year.
Oh,
it's just like, and like Bone played first base last night. Mm-hmm. We're a week away from opening day. Mm-hmm. Why is Bone playing first base? I know he's on but why is he playing third base? I know you could put someone else at first base. Derek Hall exists. My antenna's up.
Well, I think the reason you put him in first base is because if Harper does need days off, you want someone on the roster who can play first base.
I'm aware.
I know. So that makes sense.
He hasn't really played first all spring, and now we're a week away. He's supposedly going to be opening day third baseman. Uh-huh. Why is he playing first base?
Because if Harper does need days off.
If Harper misses the start of the season. Yes.
He's not going to do it. I mean, Dombrowski and Thompson, who have been very genuine and very honest most of the time.
Yeah, but with injuries.
But I mean, Rob Thompson, like it was literally like, is there none? Zero. Zippity doodah. Like, if nothing else, he'd be like, not concerned, but, we'll see how he progresses over, nothing too big, whatever. He was like, no.
I know. But then he also said at the end of it, he said he's probably going to play in a game by the end of the week.
But it's at the end of the week. It's spring training still. We're fine.
Okay. I hope so.
I don't love it
It's more worried about long-term.
I don't love it long-term.
Bigger concern.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Bryce, maybe don't be asking for that extension until your back's a little healthier. Buddy.
I don't know if it just might not.
Huh?
It might not.
No, I know. I'm joking.
It might never be perfectly fine.
All right. I know. It might. What a happy thought.
Well, because it's just.
Way to take.
Because I'm so.
We're doing all this fun. I'm wearing a unicorn on my head. We're having a great time.
I know.
And you just had to go like, hey, by the way, let me freaking bring this to a screeching halt.
Because it matters, and it's all I've thought about the last 3 days. It's like I want him to play in a spring game because I want it to be okay, but like I'm perfectly fine if he just wakes up and plays on opening day.
He's fine. I'm telling you, I got it.
Cool.
He's fine. Believe me.
Okay.
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you look
Toad's
ridiculous, but yes.
Toad's fine. He's good.
Okay.
Toad's my goats.
Okay.
When I love you, man. There, I know you love that.
I do love it.
I know.
Most underrated comedy of the last.
I make you happy.
The last 20 years. Because I can't even say 15 years because that's 07 when it came out.
So you underrated, I agree.
Since 2000, I think it's the most underrated.
I agree. I think comedy. The best comedy since 2000 is Superbad, but I agree with you. I think I Love You, Man, probably the most underrated. It's a great movie. Mm-hmm. Hilarious. But Superbad is the best comedy since 2000. I saw Tucker nod. He gets it.
Superbad was really good for the first half, and then it got slow.
Bad take. Superbad's amazing.
No, I love Superbad. Wedding Crashers is better.
No, Wedding. We want to talk about something that got slow at the end. That's some issues at the end. All right, let us know. Tweet at us. Anchorman is an argument. Anchorman is up there with Superbad. Tweet at us. What's the best comedy of the 2000s?
Oh, 215.
Let us know.
Whoa, you win a gift card.
Speaking of tweets, last thing before we get out of here, I said I would bring it up. Tucker did not remind me.
I didn't know if you already did.
Bad job by Tucker, per usual.
It was a grammar thing. What grammar thing did I do? You got to stop saying myself and Elliot when you tweet stuff. No, you're driving me crazy.
Is it Elliot and I?
So here's what you do. You take Elliot out of the sentence and say you would say it. So if you're like, would you say
me?
Me, right. So it's
join me.
Join me here. Join I here? No. Join me here.
Okay.
Yes.
So join me and Elliot here.
No, second. You're second.
So join Elliot and me.
Yeah.
I don't think that's right.
It's definitely
right. Sounds right.
I think you could technically do join Elliot and myself, even though it sounds wonky and I wouldn't do it. But as long as the myself is second, but you wouldn't say like join myself as we go to,
All right.
So.
And me.
I've said this to you before. You're not going to change. You just don't care.
I thought that myself was right.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now
But there's no bigger lie like the and I thing that was jammed into our heads as kids.
Yeah.
And the whole like I before E.
Yeah,
except
that is some BS right there.
Total lie.
So many different examples of that.
Total lie.
I'm with you on that one.
Total lie.
A lot of the grammar things are hit or miss.
I know Schoolhouse Rock was good. And
Schoolhouse Rock was good.
Yeah, conjunction.
What's your function? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Was that new when you were in school?
I wrote it actually. Yeah. It was May.
It was middle school.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, it is funny because Walk's turning 1 on Monday.
Hey, I knew it was around now because kind of tried to see your birthday, but he didn't.
Yeah. So he's turning 1, and I feel like I'm gonna have to get ready to go through all the school stuff again. It's like he's gonna be asking me for help. Like, ask your mom.
You got a long time to that, buddy.
Again, I always think
you're just jumping way out in front. Like Zoe's not even there yet.
I've been stressing about 2030 and Bryce Harper for the last.
That's another
days.
good point.
So yeah, all I do is think about the future.
That's true.
That's why I can't wait for the 2026.
Let me give you a little piece of advice. Enjoy the moment, buddy. Live in the moment.
I'm not
a little.
good at it.
I know.
I'm not good.
I know. I'll help you. That's
Thanks.
what I do. I'm gonna live in the moment. Okay. All right. Bowl predictions pod next week. Plus, we're actually gonna be talking about baseball games next week. So we'll figure out. Do we do I guess we'll just do it after the weekend. Do we Sunday? We'll right after the games, or do we do it a post opening day pod and a Sunday pod?
It might be this time next week.
Might be this time. Okay. Cool. That makes sense.
We have Walk's birthday on Sunday.
Oh, of course. Okay, that's great. So maybe Monday next week or something.
Sure.
We'll figure it out.
Either way.
As soon as possible.
Wednesday we have the I'm shooting in your little basketball.
Yeah, you are my little basketball. So maybe Tuesday bowl predictions pod, season preview, and then after the weekend, Monday at 10 probably we'll have the reaction to the weekend. So. Hey, let's freaking go, baby.
Are they on Sunday Night Baseball?
They're not, thank God.
Thank God.
They are not. I don't think so. I bet you they're bastards. I mean, they're playing the Braves. Why wouldn't they?
They're probably going to be on
Why
Sunday
wouldn't
Night
they
Baseball.
be
No,
on?
but they'll probably want Shohei, if I had to guess.
Of course they will. Here we go. Hold on.
No, 135. We're in there.
Yes, let's go.
So I think I'll be there. I'll be there opening day. And I think I'm going Saturday. Getting out there, bud.
Let's go. I'm going to be there opening day, and then I'll be there Wednesday of next week, the following Wednesday, because we're doing a game with listeners.
Nice.
So
big stuff.
So
Almost
it'll be awesome. We are so back. All right. Bowl predictions pod season preview coming next week.